In our previous lesson 5, our objective was to develop estimation strategies by applying prior knowledge of length and using those as mental benchmarks. Today, our objective in lesson 6 is to measure and then compare those lengths using centimeters and meters. I can see by looking at my page that all the units used are centimeters, so I'm going to take my centimeter ruler and measure the lines of lengths A and B. I'm going to start at the edge of my ruler, which would be the 0 point, and the edge of line A to get an accurate measure. You can see that my ruler does not go all the way to the end of line A, so I'm going to stop, make a mark, and it looks like the ruler ends at about 9 centimeters. I'll pick up my ruler again and start at my marking point. 9 centimeters plus about 5 more than 9, I know, is 14. So line A is 14 centimeters. Using my previous lesson objective, by making an estimation, using an estimation strategy, I can predict, looking at line B, it looks smaller, I can predict that line B will be less than 14 centimeters. So I know if I come up with something more than 14 or even close to 14, I probably made a mistake. What I'm going to do is take my ruler again, start at the edge of line B, and again my ruler does not go all the way to the end of line B, so I have to stop, make a mark at 9 centimeters where my ruler stops, pick it up again, and 9 plus 1 centimeter I know is 10 centimeters. Line A looks to be about 14 centimeters. Line B is about 10 centimeters. Using my estimation strategy or my prediction, I've come up with a number that's less than 14, and my line B looks smaller than line A. I think my strategy was correct. So now we're going to move on. It says line A is about blank centimeters longer than line B. We just talked about that. I can see visually and using my knowledge of my numbers, 14 on line A is longer than 10 centimeters on line B. They want to know how much longer. That's finding the difference between these two numbers. When we find the difference between numbers, we are subtracting. So I will take the larger number 14, and I'm going to subtract my smaller number 10. When I decompose these numbers, I know that 14 is really 4 plus 10, and I'm going to continue to subtract the 10 on the other side. I can see that 10 minus 10 is 0, and I'm left with 4. The difference between 14 and 10 is about 4 centimeters, and I can see if I used my ruler to measure, and they don't quite line up at the edge. If I used my ruler, it would be about 4 centimeter length difference. The next question says, line A and B are about blank centimeters combined. We know that word combined means we put things together. So on this question, we're going to combine or put lengths of line A and B together. So I know that 14 plus 10 is going to be those two lengths combined. And again, I know that 14 is 4 plus 10, and I'm going to add the other 10 from length B. Oh, it looks like we have 2 10s. 2 10s is 20, and 4 more than that is 24. When we combine the lengths of A and B, we end up with 24 centimeters. The examples for problems 2, you're going to do something very similar. You'll find the lengths of lines X, line Y, and line Z. If you are finding how much shorter or how much longer a line is, that's finding the difference. We're going to subtract. We're going to take the longer length and subtract the shorter length. If you are combining things, you're going to add because that means putting things together. The one I did want to talk about is the very bottom. Line X doubled is about blank centimeters longer than line Y. Doubled means that we see that same number twice. So what we're going to do is find the length of line X and add it to itself. So if I find the length of line X plus, I'm going to double it, that means we see it twice, the length of line X means we double it. But we're not done there. It says line X doubled is about blank centimeters longer than line Y. That says when we double line X, we're going to get a longer length than line Y. How much longer will that be? We're finding the difference there. So once you find what line X doubled is, you're going to find the difference between line X doubled and the length of line Y. And that will give you your difference.